Hey, and welcome back to the Our Opinion Podcast. I'm your co-host, Michael, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Terence and Jhoan.
What up?
And I guess we wanted to be a little more serious in this one. The first thing we really wanted to cover was, I think, the medical situation. Well, I guess the medical system and how we handle, going to the doctor or, getting an injury and just having to get an ambulance, in America, I guess, because in other places it's different. We don't really know the situation in other places. But, what do you guys want to start with that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the reason why I kind of wanted to get into this one was because we actually had a viewer that shared a couple questions with us. She wanted to she just wanted to know how we felt about the medical system in general. I guess for me personally, at one point in time, I was always a big fan of hospitals and things like that, because I always wanted to work in them. I've always wanted to be in that kind of setting. So I didn't really have no problem with it. And then as I grew up and started realizing all the fuck shit that goes on within the medical system, I was so they're not really out here for us, you know what I mean? They out here trying to, get their cash.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like there's definitely doctors that are doing their job and getting,
Oh yeah, for sure.
People
the
help.
Overall. But the system overall. That's what
we're talking about. Just so people don't get it confused.
Yeah,
I feel like people
individually, I'm there are definitely people out there not trying to kill you or harm you in that kind of way. But overall, the system is set up for you to damn near go into debt just to be okay. You know what I mean?
You want to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Just for example, I had a friend who went to the hospital because they had a very sharp pain in their side, and it was constant pain or whatever. They couldn't figure out what was going on. It was getting to the point where it was hindering their day. They couldn't drive because they would have to bend over and shit like that. It got serious. Went to the doctors 3 times, and every time they told him yeah, we're not really sure. Racked up a bill of $5,000 to go to the doctors just for them to be yeah, we're not really sure. It might be this, it might be that, it could be this, it could be that, but here's the bill. You know what I mean?
Did they send him in the direction of a specialist or someone that could help him more, or were they just every time kind of
they were literally just maybe it'll pass on its own type of deal, or it might get better if you try this or something like that, very minimal insurance, I guess. They didn't really know what the fuck was going on, and they still ended up charging her $5,000. I can understand obviously if you go and they can't figure out what's going on, sure, there can be some type of fee for the service or whatever, right. But $5 racks for you to telling me to take a Tylenol, that I could have told you that for free. You know what I mean? That's kind of fucked. It should. I feel it should be if you come to the doctors and we figure out what's going on with you, then you can charge for whatever that might be. But if we're not even sure what's going on, why are we gonna go ahead and tax you $5,000? Especially for people who are people of lower income and stuff like that. They don't have the money to just shove out $5,000. That's why people don't go to the hospital.
I was just gonna say that just even hearing that a story like that would deter other people or people that don't have insurance just from going to the doctor, because it's we even have our grandpa. We're not sure what he caught, but he was sick. He was really sick, recently with this whole quarantine thing. Yeah. And he just didn't want to go to the doctor. Now his reason being more the fact that he just didn't know what they were going to do to him and didn't trust that whole stuff, especially not knowing exactly what was going on with the virus and stuff. Yeah. The ventilators, but for most people, they'll hear that and they'll just be oh no, I'm not going to go in there, and I don't know what they're going to do to me. They're going to charge me $5,000-$6,000. They're scared to just go on one trip. There are people that people that have probably died just because they've been too scared to go to the doctor. They just don't know what that bill is going to be like, and they didn't want to put themselves in a position like that.
Yeah, I mean, because a hospital bill can literally be go to debt for life type shit, some, especially if it's something really serious,
almost a student loan. I mean.
Those things could add up, bro, bad.
You know how much it costs to have a kid without insurance?
No.
$10,000 to $20,000.
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, this is why we're not having kids right now.
You know how much it costs to call an ambulance with no insurance?
Bro, that's the thing too, bro. I was just talking to my mom about that, because I was do they make you take the ride if you have a gunshot wound? She's how else you gonna get there? I was I'm gonna call somebody to drive me in my car. Bullshit. I'll bleed out in the back of my shit, for real, because I'd rather just pay, get my shit clean than pay for the fucking ride, because y'all are taxing just to take me there too.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's just like, I don't know, bro. Like, I've also heard stories of like mistreatment going on and stuff like that and shit like that. Like patients getting like more sick going to the hospital, or like, you know, coming out in worse condition than when they went in and shit like that. And like that shit always kind of scares me too, because it's just like, I feel like when I go to like anybody that like a doctor or like a mechanic or anybody like that has like a specialty, it's like, yeah, like for the most part, what you tell me, I'm probably gonna believe, because I mean, you're supposed to know. Yeah, this is supposed to be your job. Like, you know, like if you come to me and ask me how you supposed to scan a package, you probably gonna believe what I gotta say, because that's what I gotta do. If I come to you about medical advice and you the doctor, I'm gonna believe, you know, what you telling me. But if you sending me off or having me do something that's gonna end up harming me in the worst way, it's like I won't really know until it's too late. And it's just like, it can be hard to like gauge that kind of thing too, especially being a minority. So it's just like, it's just tough. Like the medical field in itself is just, I don't know. It's set up to, it's kind of just set up like poorly, I feel like. And then like looking at other countries and shit, like I believe it's Germany, where like they have like free healthcare and stuff like that, you know. So it's
I think it's a lot of like European countries, Canada.
Yeah.
Doesn't England have that? I feel like England has that. Yeah.
So it's just like, it's just weird to me how like in other countries how they're just like, oh yeah, you're hurt, yeah, we're gonna fix you.
Yeah, there's like a lot of countries.
It's not even like a second thought.
Yeah, it's not like oh, you're hurt. Well, here's this bill. You think you can manage it? Because then we can help you out if you can.
A lot of countries are just like baffled on how much we have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
That's like in the medical field. Like there's a video out there in the UK. They were just like asking them like how much you think insulin costs, how much you think an ambulance cost, and they lowballed it hard. Like insulin, they're like $50.
Oh
so
yeah,
like
insulin, bro.
Yeah,
they're like, what?
This isn't
I
like
can go
per pen?
like get this shit now for 15
type shit. Nah, it's they don't know, and I don't understand. Like I get it, like we money hungry over here, but like
I saw. Probably should know the name of it. I saw something on Netflix. It was a documentary, and it was about like fraud companies that are like doing like laundering and all that shit. And one of them was a medical company that wasn't making any more money than they did last quarter, but they would raise their price of their medicine to make it seem like, you know, 200% expectation we went over and we did this much. So like it'd be like diabetic medicine. It was like $15 a year ago, and then 5 years after that, it's like $150.
Yeah, type shit.
And then this stock people that made that company branched out, and they have little companies, and they're like, we're doing great. So their stock went stupid high.
Yeah.
It was a CEO that did that to multiple companies, and that's why it raised.
I mean, yeah, bro. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I was talking about that with my one of my older brothers. Like sometimes, bro, like it gets to a point where you start making like high levels of money to the point where like doing the little shady shit on the side becomes so more enticing, you know? Because it's just like in that situation, like if you're money laundering through like a medical company, it's like, well, you're already making so much money, so now if we just take this little bit and do this like this, we can make it look legitimate and, you know, ring in the profits and shit like that. But at the same time, like you just said, like the price goes from 15 to fucking 150, and now you have people out here who can't afford their medicine and shit to like get better, and it's like all because you want a couple extra dollars or whatever, bro. Like it's really fucked up.
Like some serious like heart medicine, it's like this costs like $10,000 just for me to get this year.
Yeah, bro, literally.
That or like emergency comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I was gonna say, I also don't understand why there's so many different tiers of like insurance. Like, I feel like there should be like a universal tier. It's like you get hurt, you're paying this much monthly. You shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Like there's things. It's like, oh, I have insurance. Oh, it looks like your insurance isn't covering. It's like, well,
exactly.
What's my insurance for? It's like, oh, you need to get better insurance. It's like, well,
I think it's because some people. It's more so that they just
like people are forced to go out of their way and spend like extra money, like a lot more money to get private insurance.
Some people don't like that because it's like if me and you have to pay the same amount as someone that's 60, the odds of them going to the hospital might be way higher than me and you.
Well, then we don't do it just based off of like what I mean by like a universal standard is like obviously just like with anything, you would take a like how like an insurance company like does for like accidents, you know what I mean? Like they take into account it's like oh well like how old are you? You know what I mean? They take into account the age, they take into account experience, stuff like that. Kind of like it's the same with medicine. You could do it by age. Well, they're this much more likely. Well, we're gonna put you in a category where you have to pay a little more. Obviously, it's not gonna be an exponential amount more because then it's not fair. But even a couple dollars makes a difference over like months and years and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's just, I feel like that'd be hard. There's a lot more like unhealthy people that are like 50, 60 than there would be healthy, Right,
but then again, so if you're really overweight and you're in your 30s, we're not going to account you as just a regular healthy 30-year-old. We're going to account for this guy, he's super overweight, this and that. What do you mean?
Because it's like
you would be charged more for your weight though, but not the problem I have with the how many different categories of insurance now is that it's based off of how much money you're willing to put up. So if you're willing to put up thousands of dollars a month or hundreds of dollars a month on insurance, you can have a decent package. Most people can't do that. Do you think you could just put up, a couple hundred, like $500-$600 a month on insurance just to make sure that if you go to the doctor, you're good? No, you can't do that. So they need to create a better system. Obviously, I'm not saying, put me up like for governor. I know what the fuck to do, but we can figure something out. Like, we have the people to be able to figure it out. I just feel like we've been stuck on the same medical system for such a long time. We haven't really tried to figure anything out. Everybody knows that we're getting fucked over. We're just like,
Well, that's the thing, bro.
That's what it is.
Like the medical system is such a big system, and especially to the point where like the government not gonna want us to do that. Like I was saying, bro. Like they want their money, like that. Like money, power, and politics. Those are. I've been saying it before. It's the three pillars that fucking run our country, bro. Like. If it's not making or controlling or having to do with one or the other, bro, like they don't care. And so like to make a medical system that's actually going to be fair for all of us would mean the government would have to lose money. And they're going to be like, yeah, nah.
I mean, then there's also the argument that like the government goes in debt over so many things as it is now. Why not go in debt to better your people? It'll probably improve the economy.
That's the thing. People are saying that.
Look. I'm
just covering it so we all, obviously even if we're all having the same thoughts, this is for
I was just saying, like, I am 110%. We throw money into a lot of shit that's like, bro, we could siphon a little bit of that and toss it over here.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe in the whole military thing. Go ahead and pour your money up there. Go ahead. Split that up the hundreds of billions you spend a year. But
it's just like, bro, like every other country, like we were saying before, like the citizens come first. Like they take care of their citizens. And bro, we saw it with the COVID shit, bro. Like our country, we did the whole like loan forgiveness or like rent free, like stoppage or whatever for a little bit. Like some countries was doing that shit for a long. It wasn't
really a forgiveness. Like you're paying it off later.
And that's the point, though. Other countries weren't allowing it. Like they were just like, yeah, bro. You're not working, so we're not gonna charge you.
You'll get your bill when you get it. Don't worry about it.
You know what I mean?
Like the amount of money that people got for like staying at home. Like I guess here's the problem though is like there's sort of like different categories as to that because there were a lot of people that were taking advantage.
Oh, big time.
And like
I was gonna say like
big time. A lot of people have been cashing in.
Taking advantage of that. What's like the what is it called?
Like people were basically getting $600, $700, $800 a week for sitting at home. Just go ahead now.
Yeah, but what's
preface that?
Like the job rate? I was just like so like. Do other countries have that?
What do you mean?
Like the. Why am I not thinking of this word?
What are you trying to explain?
When you're not working.
Unemployment.
Do
they have unemployment rates?
Yeah, like in other countries. And do they have the same program that we do, or is it different?
They probably have their own program.
I was gonna say
because like I've never heard of like. Maybe it's just we don't hear it.
I was gonna say, but like how often are we like listening to
like times are like there's a whole bunch of lazy motherfuckers out here just sitting here and getting 400 euros a fucking week.
I mean, I feel like
I'm not entirely sure.
You would hear about it though, because like people on TikTok or Facebook, people will spew about it. Oh, people taking advantage. I feel like you would have heard it by now over different.
But that's
countries.
what I'm saying. So like, what do they do? Because like I feel like if there's a better model, why not follow that model?
From what like I don't recall what country it was, but there was one country where bro like they were giving people like $600 a week for like living expenses and shit like that or something like that. It was like $600 every month or something like that. Like they were giving them a large stipend a month or per week or whatever for them to like continue to live and shit.
During the pandemic?
Yeah, because
I think Australia was like, here's $1,200 every month.
You know, because they couldn't afford to you know, like live and pay for shit. Whereas like, you know, we got our little stimmy check or whatever.
That was like 3-4 months apart.
And it was like,
here's $1,200.
Here's $1,200. Go make it work.
Oh, I think everybody can agree that the United States did the worst job. But like in terms of helping the people that actually needed the help.
That's my point, though. It's like, what's going on? Like we sitting here, like we're like you said, we see better models of how shit can be done, and yet we just. Yeah. Why? Because it's more money out of the government's pocket.
Yeah, I feel like
it's fucked.
Another thing about it too is like, think about it. The people that were unemployed, that were taking advantage of all this stuff, were like office workers and stuff. Like people that can't be so close to each other or whatever. Like the people that continue to work, most of the people were like even like fast food restaurants were some of the things that were the quickest to come back. So those people
those are the people that needed it.
those are the people that needed the money. And not only that, they weren't able to claim the unemployment benefits because they had to get a job, because they had to support their family. You know what I mean? And so they didn't have time for all that.
I think it also depends on your job.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because like if McDonald's was like, we're shutting everything down, everyone don't even come in for the next 6 months. That means McDonald's is losing money for 6 months, and then they're getting paid to stay home. McDonald's like, no.
Exactly.
We got this bitch fixed in 2 weeks. Y'all come back. We got masks. We got a little plastic shit going up. It doesn't cover everything. It just covers like 3 feet of the counter.
And even then, state to state, it varied by how strictly those rules will follow.
It's like, nope, only the drive-through. It's like, no, fuck that. You come in, bro. Sit down. Just not next to each other. Here's this table closed.
6 feet. We got it marked for you. Don't worry.
Yeah. But only 6 people in this table, or else we gonna kick you out. Or you can just move 2 people over there.
And then it's like, oh, as soon as you sit down, you're welcome to take your mask off. It doesn't matter.
All right.
That's.
I never got that.
Because I mean, it's like, bro, how are you gonna eat?
Right. So at that point, you should do the mask.
So why even come in with a mask at that point, though? If you're gonna be like eating, you know what I mean?
Because it feels more right for you to walk in with the mask on.
I've seen people come in, take their mask off, and I gotta go to the bathroom, and they just walk. And then halfway through, they're like, oh, fuck. Gotta put my mask on.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, sure. I don't blame you. Like, that was definitely one of the ones where it was just like, yeah, this is kind of stupid. But I mean, it's just like I said, bro, it makes people feel like they're being more safe. Like, oh, we had our mask on. It was safe out there.
And the fucked up part is, and you were talking about this before with like the small businesses. The big businesses, they were able to do that quick.
Yeah, they were thriving. They were cooling, bro. Like Amazon, up straight, skyrocketed while people were just home
businesses,
buying stuff.
We got to close.
Yeah,
for like
so many businesses got closed down. Then, you know, we're not sitting here worried about those businesses. Instead, you know, bigger businesses grew because they were able to adapt so quickly. The smaller businesses
more money to you know,
adjust and adapt.
Yeah.
Think about businesses that just got started. You know, their first couple weeks in, they're like, oh, hey, by the way, right now you got to buy all this shit, and all that shit just so you can stay open. If not, you're done. You got to go.
My girlfriend's family, her uncle, had partnered up with somebody else maybe a month or two before COVID hit. Bought a restaurant. They were going 50-50 with it.
Oh, no.
You know, my girlfriend was working there part-time. Like, yeah, it's getting busy, this and that. And then COVID hit. And I was like, so how's that business doing? Yeah. They actually sold their half. They said, we can't go through with
even do it.
We can't go through with this.
We can't even do it.
We just started. We wanted this to make money.
Yeah, we're losing money. We're losing money. Yeah, that's the tough thing too, because like the small businesses really got hit hard with that shit, because it was just like,
especially the smaller restaurants.
There's not much you can do. Like,
it's like
literally not much you can do.
I feel like when you make money, like some real millions of dollars, you just know shit a week before it actually happens. Talking about, you just got a random call from your friend. Yo, don't buy a restaurant. I wasn't even planning to. That's great. Don't do it. All right, bye.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, look, man, just hear me out. Don't do it.
You had no plan of doing it.
It's not the good time right now.
I was going to say, like, sort of speaking on the whole restaurant thing, in California, it was really ridiculous, too, because, like, so, for example, they weren't allowed to even have outside dining and stuff. like because of the fact that like
they were really strict, weren't they?
Yeah, they were super strict. But not only that is that they were so strict on some things, but like Netflix had this thing going on at the same time that all these restaurants were being shut down for serving people outside. Netflix was able to cater people outside and have this big meetup or whatever for like this like show or whatever the hell it was, and they were able to just have like outside dining, basically the thing that the restaurants weren't able to do. Why? Because they were able to get the permits, this money, you know what I mean? Like they're able to just hey, just let us have this. Or like the governor, how he got caught inside or whatever, saying stay 6 feet apart, keep a mask on even in between bites, and then they found him inside next to people, no mask
in between bites.
Yeah, he was saying go like this.
That's really great.
And then I gotta get another bite.
I'm gonna eat at home.
At that point,
I would just eat at home.
Or like, what's her name? Nancy Pelosi. She was saying, like you guys can't be going in and stuff. And then she, like, in the middle of the COVID quarantine and stuff, she went out and got a freaking like, went to the hair salon and got her nails done, got her hair did,
hey, look, man,
and then televised it.
Not getting your hair cut for 4 months was stressful.
I feel like, I feel like that was so dumb for like even Wisconsin. People really pressuring the governor to be like, yo, bro, like we need this haircut. Like, I need you to get my barber to start up. Like, fuck this mask shit. Fuck everything.
He said, I need my shit.
You see how rough I'm looking?
I need my shit cut today.
There were a lot of people there were more people protesting for barbers than for like other more important things.
Right. Like nurses were like, yeah, you guys need to be cool, stay home, this and that. We're getting too many people to we're getting overworked at the hospital. And people were like, fuck that. I need a haircut.
I need a haircut, bro.
I don't care who.
I don't give a fuck what's going on. Yeah, no. My shit. You see this? You see this? I need a cut today.
See, but I was trying to say the whole like governors and mayors and shit, them implementing those strict rules.
And then not following them.
The not following part is the messed up part. Because it's like, all right, cool. This whole state, California, lockdown, this, and that. And you see the governor.
Same with Texas. The governor of Texas was like, right now is not the time to be relaxed. That same week, he got caught taking his family out on vacation to Cancun or something like that.
He said, I wasn't even taking them. I was actually dropping them.
I was just making sure my family was safe. I was going to come back.
He was pissed as fuck on that. Who tweeted this shit? How did they find me?
Exactly.
I was wearing a mask and a hat. No way they could identify me.
Like, the hypocrisy really shows with the people.
That's the thing, too, for like when our leaders are doing shit like that, it just makes it more of a joke to the average American, bro. So it's just like, this shit not fucking like, serious.
This mask shit ain't even real.
Yeah,
bro.
Don't
even do it. And then they see like a leader doing it. He said this, but look at him now.
Yeah, it makes dumb people almost dumber to
follow.
Even though we all know we're doing it just because of a policy. It's not like we all really feel like everybody's out here sick. It's over policy and stuff.
Yeah. That's I feel like that's just one of them like little like things that people do, like the people who are feeling like, oh, fuck the mask, like that shit's not really real or whatever. They're gonna look for the information that's gonna confirm their belief, like they're gonna literally look, look, he literally doesn't have his mask on, so fuck that shit. Even though there's all this other fucking evidence and studies and yada 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 telling you that it's good to wear your mask, and then they're like, nah, if you see this though right here, it's like, bro,
yeah.
I that was just so agitating. It was just like, gee, this is getting ridiculous.
And then the people going into stores being like, I have a medical condition, I don't have to wear a mask. Like peak quarantine, peak COVID, or
they were bad enough to not wear a mask, but good enough to go out, shop, and do all that shit stress free.
Yeah, literally, bro. I don't know.
Like if you're that sick, you should stay home. Just stay home. Yeah. I'm not saying you don't gotta. You can no mask there, but just we need you to wear a mask in here. This is Walmart. We have a lot of people in this bitch.
Bro, people were just like, that was just ridiculous. And then like, I don't know, it was just weird.
Bro, workers throughout quarantine, all this pandemic shit. What were they called?
Essential workers?
Essential workers.
Yeah.
Essential workers.
Hero workers. I heard that too, bro.
The title, but no kind of bonus, really. Nothing.
There actually a lot of people did get bonuses. Like, I heard like I have a couple friends that work at Target. They got bonuses and stuff, like just for the COVID thing.
But it was like, to the point where you were saying that there was other people that were staying home and
getting more money, making more money than
making
them.
As much as the essential workers. Like, so what is this?
Yeah.
That's what makes people stay home.
Big time. Yeah, bro. Like, the job that I was working at the time, they gave us, like, I think it was like a $500 bonus or something like that. And then it was like, if if somebody at your place, like one of the clients, has COVID and you choose to work there, they'll pay you hazard pay or whatever, and it's like double your normal pay or some shit like that, which honestly wasn't that much in the first place. So they was just trying to bamboozle out of that in the first place. But anyway, it was just like. Even with all of that, like you said, bro, there are people at home collecting literally like 2 G's a month for like nothing. G.
Like more, bro, like 3,000 a month.
It was just
and like they were like posting videos like, yo, I'm just sitting at home making this much, da da da, and they're knowing they can work and they're choosing not to.
Yeah. At that point, bro, it's just like you there's always gonna be those people out there, you know, the motherfuckers that's gonna take advantage of this shit. But, like, I be feeling like, you know, like, all that shit gonna, you know, eventually catch up to you. Especially motherfuckers that was, like, finesse, taking, like, 20K and shit like that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not happen for him. You might get away for 4 or 5 years, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But in, like, 7, 9, 10 years, when they start doing all the laws,
what is it called? The PPE loans?
Yeah, the
bro,
PPP loans.
People were genuinely telling people,
prison.
hey, like, go out, tell the business that you want to get a PPP loan.
Yeah.
Like, they were saying to other people to go do this. Like, I feel like in court, damn near if you said, oh, he told me to do it, you have evidence of this person telling you, oh, he incentivized me to do it. Like, a lot of people don't know those loans. You have to be accountable and make money back by, like, a certain amount of time or show them a record of you actually growing or making money through that time.
At the same time, though, bro, I'm going to just look at you and be like, why the fuck didn't you do your research?
Yeah, that's
it was $20,000. You thought we was just gonna give it to you?
But think about it though. Like, think about it.
It says loan in the fucking title.
The funny part is the families that needed it, those weren't the people that did it. It was those people that flexing the money, wearing the Gucci belts,
the motherfuckers that want to go buy cars and all types of shit. And it's like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, that was stupid, but shit. Like, at that point, bro, like I said, that shit's gonna catch up to you eventually.
It's like the dumbest thief. It's like you robbed the bank, the only bank in town, and now you got a new car.
Yeah.
While nobody going to work?
All right.
I know people were just thinking like, oh, they got so many things to do right now. They're not going to focus on this. You're right.
You're right. Right now. Right now, they're not going to get you.
No.
It's going to be a little later.
It was like, see this? This is a person who just got this loan for what? He got 20. Just look at that. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
We come back in a year.
Yeah, literally, bro. Because, I mean, if it's a loan, so, we're going to give you the time frame to, pay us back. After that, we going to come looking.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
And now you're going to be sending 20, 40, 35 K in debt.
Hundreds of people
stupid.
That are just Mr. Johnson. Just the whole Mr. Johnson. And it's a whole story.
Get all your cars repossessed and shit, boy. It's going to be a tough day for you. But, I mean, shit. But, like, along with all of that shit, bro, with, like, COVID, like, kind of stopping people from work, one thing, like, I thought about, like, people were saying was, like, the rich should have took on more responsibility. Like, some of the people that are, like, billionaires and shit like that, like, you guys have all this money, like, why aren't you, sending out cash or helping people do da-da-da-da-da or yada, yada, yada. So, like, my question to you guys is, like, do you feel like it's, the rich's responsibility to, like, help in those kind of situations or, like, help in general with, like, people with, like, less fortunate than them, or if it's hard-earned money, is it theirs to keep?
I was telling you a little bit about this before the podcast, that I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. Because it's really weird, Because on one side, like, think about Jeff Bezos. When he started this up, his plan was to make money, yeah. He wanted to start a virtual online bookstore. His plan was probably to make a good amount of money. Now that he's a billionaire, like, it's kind of controversial. Like, he spends a lot of money. He's allowed to spend that money. It's his. Mm-hmm. He has a lot of extra money. The thing that people are, like, a lot of people are like, oh, he needs, like, aside from the fact, he gives a lot to charity. He already donates a lot, like millions. But people are like, no. Like, more than that. Like, you should be giving billions. You should be giving most of your money away and then, living out like that, because that's still so much. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like if, like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, I'm working this hard. I'm telling all these people what to do. I'm stressing my life out.
Yeah.
Just for someone, just to, like, make all this money. And then, guess what? Not only do they get taxed, like, 50% of every... Well, supposedly. Like, we gotta, this is technically bigger companies kind of get away with that
You know
sometimes.
how that goes.
But think about that. Your average millionaire that isn't, like, I guess, shady. But even then, if it's legal, it's legal. Anyway, so like think about the fact that they're getting taken 50% of their profits, taken away, and not only do they have to pay 50%, or they get taken away 50%, then they have to pay at the end of the year for that stuff, because at the end of the year they're still going to be getting taxed for the amount of money that the cumulative amount that they were making, not for how much they took home. So it's like, and you worked for that, but even if you have so much money that you're not using, it's like, if it's me, I feel like if it's my money, if I want to just have that bitch sit in a vault, I should have the right to let that bitch sit in a vault and not waste a single penny. Now, that's what I'm saying. Now, the other side of that is kind of like, okay, well, if you really don't need all that money, there's so much money you can give to schools to benefit, to benefit the economy as a whole, because, you're helping out schools, smarter people. Smarter people means, more people go to college, better jobs, et cetera.
Right.
So, that's kind of my end on it. But to sum it up, I just kind of at the end of the day, it's my money.
My money.
I feel like I get to do what I want. It's my money and I need it now. What do you think about that? It's really I feel like I just kind of looped up the sort of bunched it all up, but it's really confusing for me because it's tough. It's tough to break down.
Me personally, if I was Jeff Bezos,
what's his net worth right now?
It's like
170, and then his wife became the richest person ever, or the richest female ever from the divorce.
I mean, folks gave her what?
30
bill?
Bill.
And then she gave away most of it. She still has a couple bills. She gave away billions so far though. Yeah.
Imagine if he didn't get that divorce, that 160, 170 is 200 billion.
I think he's on track to become a trillionaire.
Bro, see, that, at that point, if
$1 trillion?
Not only that, but billionaires are really on some other shit.
He said they're on some other shit.
Because
what you mean?
The difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is so
people don't realize
people big, bro.
People always bunch it up. When they say rich people, they think million and billions are the same.
Right.
Bro, billionaires look at millionaires like
no. Millionaires are middle class rich people. Billionaires are the real rich.
The 1% is for real.
And
for real.
I feel I'm not saying they should give money back. I'm not saying that they should pay for everything or whatever. But you were saying about taxes. Mm-hmm. If they really paid their taxes, what they're really supposed to pay, we probably wouldn't have this discussion. They'd be getting taxed.
Well, then I guess at that point, then it's not we don't have a problem with the rich people. We have a problem with how we tax rich people, then, because there's a lot of legal loopholes.
The problem isn't, or the question isn't having a problem with rich people. It's should they give some money back?
Right. Well, I'm assuming you're saying that comes back in taxes, since they're supposed to be giving so much taxes.
Yeah, and if it worked that way, if they were getting taxed the correct amount, cool. And not only that, if that money was actually being used for what it's meant to, great. Because apparently in California, for the homeless,
$1 billion.
$1 billion
a year
is
allocated to the homeless.
For the homeless, $1 billion.
Sir.
Where is that $1 billion worth of?
It's a huge problem still now.
They got any they got shelters or shit out there or what?
No,
I don't know.
Not really.
I don't know.
There's a street full of homeless.
I was gonna say I don't know what the homeless situation is out there, but if you're getting a bill per year, bro.
Not only that, there was a Joe Rogan episode where he was talking about that shit too. I think they passed a bill or they're doing something where each homeless person a month is getting $3,000-$4,000.
Where?
In California.
Just for being homeless?
For being homeless. Apparently there's people moving to California to be homeless to get paid to be homeless.
I mean, shit, bro. You go out there for a year, you can collect $4 a month per year.
But you're homeless.
You got $4K a month, bro. You could probably find you a nice little.
You have to prove that you're homeless every month.
Would you stay? Would you be
broke? Personally, no.
Right. I'm saying
I didn't already been broke, so I'm not gonna go back.
This point, you're not gonna be. Because they're like, damn, Terrence, same. You're like, yep, same little place. You did. Here's $4K, my man. See you next month.
I was say, how does it work? Is there a station that you gotta go to?
I don't know the
They do a homeless check on you. How the fuck do they even?
I don't know the specifics of it, but it's just
crazy.
If they put aside $1 billion just for the homeless, and maybe they got caught or some shit damn, Joe Rogan really said that. Cool. Hey, everybody who's homeless gets 4 bands.
You think that's how that went down?
Bro, it went from nothing was happening to all of a sudden, here's 4 bands, here's 4 bands.
That's tough.
They say, oh shit, they catching on. They catching on.
Fuck.
I mean, I think there's multiple stupid, especially like California is one of the big ones. They're constantly calling them out for like stupid shit like that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if the rich really wanted to, Jeff Bezos could just be like, to California, if it was actually going to be meant to put up houses or something, here's $2 billion. That $2 billion should last you guys. Do the smart. He can even pay somebody $2 billion for the population of, let's say, 30,000 homeless people in that vicinity. This $2 billion should last y'all 10 years for shelter, for this. And that's not just for y'all. That's for coming and going homeless people.
I just don't think we should be paying homeless people thousands of dollars, though.
No, I'm not saying to pay them. I'm saying to, like, help them get on their feet.
Right.
Talking about giving them, like helping them dress better for job interviews, giving them information, doing this and that.
Yeah.
Like that $2 billion.
Actually setting up actual useful centers for the homeless.
You're
I feel like it's one of those things where like I feel like a lot of people have thought of this. It's just like they just damn near don't want to implement it, you know?
Because it'd be like $1 billion type of deal.
Well, that's what you're already saying that they're already getting $1 billion. I'm sure that people have already thought about this. It's just probably something that just, the people that have the power to implement it just probably haven't wanted to go out of their way to implement it.
It has to be something like that because, like, at the end of the day, you said power is like one of the 3 things.
Yeah, think about it. If we're thinking about this now, and there are people that their job is dedicated to think about this stuff, they've thought about it. You know what I mean? They just damn near don't got the money, don't got the resources to be able to go down through with it.
There's too much shady shit going on.
It's because too many people getting their hands wet. Too many people have to, get a little something.
Not only
that's the point, though.
But it's the whole power thing, bro. Because you could work for Jeff Bezos. Jeff, perfect plan. $2 billion, $500 million, 2 years. For every 2 years, I got 3 other people to do this bitch with you. California's fixed. He said, right. Nah. We want that. California, those $1 billion that they get, we actually get $500 million from that bitch. Personally. So I'm not going to help them out fix the problem when I'm getting paid.
I mean, think about it, though. Even then, like, if he is going to donate that amount of money, all that stuff, they're getting a huge tax break on that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's fine if that happens. If that money is actually being used,
right?
Because if they're getting tax break, like 1 year, Amazon didn't get taxed at all, like zero, for like 2019 or 2018.
But legally,
right? Legally, cool.
Loopholes. That's why I'm saying you don't have a problem with what's happening in the system. You have a problem with the fact that like the rules and how we tax people. Then
that's what I'm saying. But look, there's all those problems. They could have paid their due. They could even take turns, bro.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, I'm agreeing with you, but like the thing is that the problem isn't that. Then the problem is like the laws we have now that allow people to go and loop through all these little holes to not pay taxes. Just like with Trump. Trump paid like $700 in taxes or whatever, and he technically did it legally. You can't people went through there.
I don't know if it was legal because even after this, bro, they kind of look at him like, really.
Yeah, because he has lawyers that like their job is to do his taxes for you. There are people that he has specifically for the whole year to just watch all your income, all the amount you're spending, just so you can. Oh, that's the tax.
I will not be surprised if I see Trump in the next 5 years coming like he might actually go to jail because that's $700.
I'm telling you,
he did something real stupid.
There's just like if you just know the right people, bro, it's not hard to do it legally. It's not a thing that's hard to do. Like,
but that's like for the legal shit. I feel like that's for like successful businesses where they're making all this money and they're outputting it for tax breaks. What the fuck did Trump do?
Again,
he was going in debt for so many years.
It's all of the stuff all the rules that allow you to get tax breaks for dumb things or like this and that stuff that lawyers know that get paid this and like stupid amount of money. They get paid that money specifically just to look into Trump's like tax books and be like, oh, right here, that's obviously you. That's a big tax.
I'm sure it's also
I mean?
some passed down shit, bro. There's too many wealthy people that have like 3rd, 4th generation.
They're like, what do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like when this bill was passed, it was meant for this. People think it's like that. But,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I'm talking about like we've been rich for 3 generations because of this law. Your great grandpapa was actually part author. You know?
Okay, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. He said your great grandpapa.
But you get my point. It's like it's like passed down like some shit that only rich people know, so that they stay rich.
Of course, bro. It's always gonna be set up for them to, bro. I mean, like I said, bro, like the people that are kind of at the top that's making all of those kind of rules,
they know some real like
those are the rich motherfuckers.
Some real cheat codes.
Yeah. So it's like, why wouldn't I want to do something that's gonna make sure that this shit lasts forever?
But
like imagine if you was in a position. We wouldn't be in this position, but let's just imagine that like 100 or 200 years ago, we was in the position where we could be one of the
Terrence said we wouldn't.
Maybe you would.
He had to stop and correct himself.
Like, it wouldn't happen, but if it did,
three minorities back in the early 1900s
trying to be rich.
They said, how y'all know how to read this? First of all.
Whoa. First of all, he said 200 years ago, and you said early 1900s.
No, he said how you know to read this, first of all.
No, because
fuck, I took a picture.
Like in the early 1920, there were still black people and like minorities that still couldn't read, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you come up to a bank and like, I want a loan because I want to start this business, and they're like, cool. How you know about this?
What's a business to you?
How you find your way here?
Like you read this bitch real good.
You know what a loan is? Hold on.
Hold up.
Like they trying to like.
He said, "Did you go to a white school?" I know all our schools are all white. Not one from around my parts.
Hell no. This is facts. But like for real though, like if you had the position, if you was in the position where you could set yourself up for
your family,
all your family to be rich, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking around sign the law too, But it's just like
it was probably like think about it, like it was so much less industrial that it was probably over such a lot smaller of a favor, or like you know what I mean,
bro, like back then.
Honestly, like I'm about to give me $1,000, put this in the fucking law, like something stupid.
I want to start a restaurant.
Okay.
Where you from? What's your last name? Johnson. Here you go.
Yeah,
just sign here, here, and here.
Hell no.
Yeah, exactly.
You said, "What's your last name?"
I'm sure there's some of it. Obviously, we can't confirm this stuff. Don't go in the comments like actually, because no, obviously we don't know none of this shit. We're just saying, maybe it's like that,
But that's stupid crazy, bro. Now that we even having this conversation, the fact that they really had this much of a head start. You know what I mean? Like.
What can you do about it now, though? You know what I mean? What can you do about it now?
I'm not saying we could. I mean, we can just like continue moving forward.
Yeah, we just gotta,
It's kind of like
rack up
our
own
don't
shit.
Realize how far ahead they were.
Yeah,
it's a big head start. It's like they up here. We more so bad, we just started to make the travel.
And it's harder now.
And then think about it, even up to just recently, a couple 20, 30 years ago, like we still had so much segregation going on that it still stopped and blocked all that stuff.
Oh
but
yeah,
now, they're starting to clear that stuff up, but still,
we've
Milwaukee,
moved.
Like one of the most segregated areas.
We've moved forward from beginning where we was. I'll say that.
Look,
but you know how
my
that
dream.
I have a dream.
I was gonna say, here we go.
He said,
my dream for like there to be like the top 1% to have like ethnic people in there, realistically, is white people getting colored babies.
What do you mean?
Wait, what?
Adopting black and Mexican babies.
What is the statement here?
You think that's the only way for minorities to
be in that 1%?
To be in that 1%? Oh, I thought you were saying that's what you want. I was like, wait, what are you doing?
That's like that's the only way I'm thinking of, like, for like Jeff Bezos, his empire to be passed down to someone that's black.
He just got to meet the right Latina. It's over. What you mean?
Look, it could be like he meets a Latina, has a kid, and then you know what all white people do? Let's adopt a black boy.
Like, he's doing what all white people do.
Tell me,
Angelina Jolie don't got 5 different kinds of kids. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, too much racism. I was about to say.
Whoa, his true self is about to come out.
Boy, y'all are killing me.
I was about to say a Thanos joke with him.
Oh, shit. You need to chill out, boy. Like, we not on camera.
It's just,
as you can see, Your Honor. That's what you're about to say.
It's just because it's crazy, bro. There's so many. Because like, if there was like multi-billionaires that are black or Mexican or any type of ethnicity, they would have wanted to help out where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that the top % is so white, they're used to a certain way of living they're like, "What you mean? We went to the doctors and now you can't pay the bill?
Right.
We've always been good.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Food
what you mean you got pulled over and got shot? We just act right to the cops.
You know, like, all that shit is just that's what it comes down to, bro. Because it's like that's why they're trying to stop food stamps, trying to stop all that. They're like,
you know what's funny though? It's funny because I heard that most of food stamps are actually going to white people. Most food stamps, the people that are taking advantage of the system is actually going to white people.
But it's like the top 1% that are making those bills and shit. They're white people that never have to go through that. So they're like,
of course.
And then they'll see like the black people, the Mexicans, the Asians. They're taking advantage of this shit. Why do they need this?
Yeah, like you just said though, like the real crazy part about it though is like it's a lot of white people that take advantage of the system.
It's funny because it's mostly white people.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people that use food stamps and shit, it really do be the white people. So it's like.
Because I think all it comes down to is telling them you're making this much. Like, oh, like I made like.
Yeah, it's just about. Yeah. It's all about how much you make and like your housing size and shit like that. Exactly. So like. It's just like, I feel like it's been stigmatized and like shown in like minority groups so much that's why it's like, oh, you have food stamps, you've gotta be fucking black. Like that's just kind of the stigma behind it. Like. White people don't need that. Like you just said, like they've always been good.
We've always been good with food, so why do we need this?
Yeah, but like what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of white people are just as broke, folks. Like just as broke, because like that's just that's life for you. But it's just a simple matter of the fact that like sometimes in most cases they're gonna have a better opportunity than somebody in our position. You know what I mean? So like.
For the most part.
For like I said, for the most part. Like, they'd be able to... Because, like, bro, I know a lot of my, like, Caucasian friends and whatever, where it's like, yeah, like, we're not rich, but, like, if I went and called this uncle and then he gave me the number to this aunt, I can talk to her and she's making this much. Or, like, if I call this person, I can, we can go through some loops, find some people distant down the line that... have some money,
some real money.
Yeah, like we're not rich, but like somebody in our family got money. You know what I mean? It's always been one of those where it's like,
I think,
yeah,
I think that's what I want to implement to my kids the most. Is that sense of
security?
Not only security, but like knowledge of why I wanted to be in this position.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like. We may not have food stamps, but there's people out there that have food stamps and shit that really need it. Because, like, we've been through it where it's like, if there wasn't food stamps or shit, we probably wouldn't have eaten. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, we had to go to food fucking pantries.
Like, the food pantries and all that. Like,
just to be
that's, keeping your kids humble. Let them understand, like, bro, like, just because, like, I went through all of this shit and I struggled this much and did all this shit that I did, so y'all don't have to, but y'all still need to understand what it's like to come from this. Because, like, yeah, of course.
That way... real change could happen. If it's not in our generation, bro, down the line there should be some like wealthy ethnic people at that point that know real struggle. Yeah. Or that know we gotta change these rules.
Like understands like what's coming on, even if they haven't gone through them themselves.
Because like I feel like maybe for like black people it's different. But for like Mexicans, sometimes I feel like for Latinos it's like they might sometimes down the line a little couple more generations they're real white.
Like they become Americanized?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And to the point where it's like they don't know Spanish, they don't know anything of...
No sabo?
all that shit, bro.
Sabo.
Like, to the point where it's like...
Imagine.
to the point where they don't know that struggle themselves. Because I've had conversations with some like Mexican or Latin people. They're like, food stamps is a waste. My family's been good without it. I don't know why there's lazy people out there that are depending on
people who
shit.
Don't understand what it's actually like and shit, bro. Yeah.
I'm like, you're Mexican, like that, just because your family might have papers. I'm like, my family didn't have papers, so like, why would you want to fuck me over if we the same?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah, bro. I feel you, and that's like I feel like you said, bro. That's where it comes down to like a little bit on the parents too, because like. You got to be able to, like, instill that kind of knowledge in your child for them to understand, like, not everybody has it like this. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody got
I think that
this,
that's something that you really have to, like, put, or, like, I guess, teach your child at a very young age. Because I feel like, when they're when they're at a really young age, they're really susceptible to like hearing other people talking about stuff and you know like, oh, that's how it is then. Oh, it should be like this.
Everything's impressionable.
Yeah. And it's like when you have bad parents, you know, just giving their kids tablets, like that is a lot of the time why these kids have the type of like impressions on society that they do. Like, oh, they're lazy people. They get food stamps or they need help because they're lazy and they don't want to work. That's a big problem. That
is, bro. Because like even with our sibling, like Lalo, I feel like when we grow up, we talk about struggle. He's gonna be like, "What are you guys talking about?"
It's funny because
we were great.
When we think about struggle, like
poor, but we were doing all right. Why are you guys talking about like we really broke?
Like he wasn't there when
he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't understanding.
Yeah, we were climbing.
He didn't understand what we went through to get to where we was.
And it's like it's real hard to like even implement that to him now. Because it's like you're bored, go outside. I'm just gonna watch TV, bro.
It's like, nah, chupapi muñeño.
Why would I go outside to play with other kids when I can just watch TV in this? Exactly. You took the iPhone away, you took the tablet, you took my Nintendo. Cool, I'm gonna just watch TV like a normal person, bro. Why don't you go outside?
It's like, and later I'm gonna hop on Roblox, so fuck with me. Like, that's really how it is, though. I'm cracked at Fortnite, my guy.
Bro, that shit, bro. Like I never growing up, it was like we would have our own phrases and shit like that like made sense to us.
They sound like that, right?
But I feel like that's what every generation says, though. Like they were like, bro, our shit didn't sound like that.
Nah, but think like the one I said first, chupapi muñeño. That's really something kids are just saying, like chupapi muñeño. Like
I'm cracked at Fortnite.
I'm cracked at Fortnite, my guy.
What? But shit, yeah. The whole generational difference is.
That's probably a whole nother topic.
I was gonna say a whole nother topic.
And we started this with should rich people help communities?
You know how that goes.
Well, I mean, I think that was a pretty good episode. You know,
yeah.
Make sure to leave us a comment in the description on what you guys want to see next. So we're for sure like open to listening. I thought some of the topics we actually had today were from a listener.
Shout out Aubrey.
Shout out Aubrey. Boom. Yeah. So when we're up, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I was on there.
Yeah, I told her I'd let her name drop.
But yeah, I mean, any final thoughts before we close out?
Share, you guys. Same as always. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know topics.
Comment in the description.
Comment. Oh, sorry. Comment. Or, you know what I mean. Leave a comment. Fuck it. Fuck out of here.
You said comment in the description.
Comment below the description. It's because it's below the description. You know what it is.
But if I didn't say it, it's good.
Okay. Well, our social media is in the description. Fuck him. Anyway, social media is in the description. You'll see Terrence down there. You'll see me.
Yeah, no.
He feels like he's hot shit, so you're not gonna see his stuff down there.
People don't need to know who I am.
Again, he feels like he's
your
hot
name
shit.
isn't said at the beginning of every episode.
Exactly.
People see my social media.
Okay, calm down. But yeah, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Deuces.
That was pretty good.